Hello Flosstube, hello friends, hello all my fellow creatives. As I begin this Flosstube, I can hear the sound of Smudge eating right next to me, which is good. I want to tell you about Smudge. I didn't intend to start with the backdrop of, but there you go. I wonder if I can show you. I don't think I can angle the camera enough. Let me see if I can. Over to the kitchen. There she is. Do you know how happy the sight of her eating makes me? Do you know how happy the sight of her makes me? Yes. Thank you for your little cameo without consent there, Smudge. I have Charlie next to me too. Actually, Charlie, what about a cameo without consent from you too? I think we'd like that. Come here, darling. Come here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, little one. Here's Charlie. Are you going to get cross? Want to say hello to all? No, I do not want to say hello to anybody. Oh, I've made a bad move there because now she thinks she can sit on my lap and I'm not. I can't do a floss tube with her on my lap. I just can't. Bye. There you go, darling. Sorry. Right, now we've got the important introductions out of the way, Smudge and Charlie. And hello, I'm Margaret, and this is Maggie Lou Stitches, which is not a channel about cats. It's a channel about cross-stitch and anything cross-stitch related, and that's where cats come in. In my last Flosstube episode, I talked about how much cross-stitch helps me in times of angst, stress, emotional unease, particularly in relation to Smudge's illness. And so that's, the first thing I wanted to do is thank you for listening and thank you for all of your responses and for telling me about your pets. I really want to express how much that helped. It just helps being reminded of people saying, yes, that happened with my cat last year, that happened with my dog, this is my elderly dog, this is my young cat that got sick, these are my guinea pigs who we love, this is my birds. And it just is such a reminder that we're all going through the same thing, which is that we have these animals that we love, we want them to be well, we want to look after them, and things don't always go well. And that is stressful for us. And yeah, so as we were continuing to look after Smudge, taking her to yet more vet visits, where yet another vet said, oh, I don't actually know what's wrong with her. I recommend you go to a pet dermatologist. At which point my husband had to step in and say, I believe it's this, and these are the reasons I think it is, and this is what I think. Unfortunately, this vet had the good graces enough to go away, do some research, come back and say, I think you're right. Thank you for pointing me in the right direction. This is the medication I advise. We had 2 lots of medication to give Smudge every day, and she took it quite sportingly for 3 days, and on that 4th day she said, nah, no more. I do not want any of this. And I was very distressed about that because the vets had made it quite clear that without any medication, this was only going to go one way. And then enter my good friend Christine, who is an intuitive medium who can tap into and connect with animals. And I just said, please, can I have a session with you where you tap into Smudge and can we find out what's going on? Christine said, yes, of course. We had that session, and I can tell you I got more out of that session than out of all of the vet visits. So after that session, Smudge started eating more than she had in 3 or 4 weeks. Smudge, she just came good. She told us quite clearly in the session, I know what I'm doing with myself. Let me lead the way, leave me alone. Got a bit of a sore throat, don't want to take that medication now. I might later, but not now. It hurts. There were other things that Smudge was just like, I'm good. but just let me show you what I need. I need more soft food. I'd like a bit of electrolyte water. It was incredible. It was like Smudge leading the way. So, and honestly, since then, she has recovered. Like, I know that there's still the truth of animal mortality that we're going to have to deal with at some stage for all of our animals. And I just want to give my heartfelt appreciation to everybody else who's going through that. It is not to be minimized, the feelings that go along with having to go through pet love, pet pain, pet loss. So anyway, that's just a catch up from last time. That's about Smudge. Charlie's doing fine. My 16-year-old, she's magnificent. She's meowing through the night, which is really annoying. But anyway, okay. That was cross-stitch related last time. Let's go to a fully finished object, which you can see right there. Ta-da! I had my berries framed. Now, let me get them down so you can have a bit of a closer look at them. Hold on. So this is the Luca-S kit, Berries with Butterflies, I think it's called. And finally decided to get it framed. And here it is. Framing was an interesting ordeal because it helped me remember that the whole reason I love cross-stitching, the way I do it, I know everybody's different in the way that they approach cross-stitching, is because I can see what it's going to look like at the end, at the beginning. The mock-up shows me, oh, I like that. And then doing it in real life, it comes out even more vibrant or more alive. And I sort of know about that extra enhancement that's going to happen with doing it, which is why it's worth doing it, not just printing out a picture and, you know, or having a poster of the picture on your wall. So I love that I know what it's going to look like. Now, when I go to a framer's and they start suggesting frames or mat boards, or I start suggesting how I want it, we don't know what no, they do. I don't have very good vision for what that's going to look like fully finished. They put down the little corner bits and you have that corner to look at. Now, I've since heard that there are some framers you can go to where they have software where they can do a mock-up of what it will look like. Oh my goodness, I need that. Because what I need to say to them is like, look, frame it the way you think, and then I'll have a look and say, no, I don't like that. Or no, I'd rather it like this. I need to see things. So when I took berries into the framer, I had a different idea of a red mat board with white borders. And the framer listened and she said, in the end, she said, can I just show you some other options that I think would really suit it? I said, yeah, of course. What actually happens then is I just get really confused. I just go, well, I think that looks, I guess, can I have a look at, and I spend so long there going, can I have a look at this? What about this? That looks, and in the end, I largely, and I've had this experience in all my previous framing situations, I largely go with what they recommend because I do believe they are the experts. They're doing it all the time, and they go into framing hopefully because they do have expertise in it. So I end up going, yep, okay, we'll do it how you said, which isn't how I went in wanting it. And then I spend weeks while they're doing it going, God, am I going to like it? Is that what I wanted? Did I just roll over and just do what somebody else wanted? Should I have stuck to my guns? Maybe theirs is better. Oh, I question it so much. So I was really interested when I walked into the framers and she showed me this. I was very aware of what my initial impression was going to be, and I did love it. Would I love it another way? Probably. Possibly. I don't know. I find it very confusing. Does anybody else have that experience with framing? Anyway, I am very happy with it. So that's my berries. And this is with the anti-glare glass, and this is proving that does work very well because I'm not having to worry about glare. Oh, so happy with it actually, now that I show it to you. Very happy. Okay, I'm just going to hang that back up and then we'll keep chatting. Hold on. I don't think it's actually going to live there. I think it's going to live above my stitching chair in my office / stitching room, but we'll see. Okay, besides my fully finished, my work in progress. As you know, I'm a Monogamish stitcher, and I have been monogamous still since last time. So let me show you where I was up to beforehand with my stained glass butterfly by Stitches So Beautiful. And now I'll show you where I'm up to. Now look, last time I was at 20%. I've almost got to 33%, so I'm nearly a third of the way there. And here we are. And I love it. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Look at the butterfly wings coming in. Pinks and yellows. And yet I still remain enchanted with working with all the blues. I love it. So every day, just chipping away at this, loving it, loving it. However, let me talk to you a little bit more about my monogamish ways and how they are, the ish part of it is coming true this month. Okay, this is where I get to talk about something else that I love because it relates to cross stitch. And I said in the first episode, I think it was the first episode, that I probably wouldn't talk about this much because I'm too obsessed and I need to not talk about it, but it's relevant, so I get to talk about it, and that is K-pop. Now, the reason that's relevant is because this month, June of 2025, has been a significant month for K-pop fandom of the group BTS. The fandom for BTS are called ARMY, of which I am a proud member. I am ARMY. And this month is Festa, and Festa is the month-long celebration of the anniversary of when BTS debuted 12 years ago now. So BTS and ARMY are celebrating this month. However, the 7 members of BTS had to do their mandatory military service over the last 2 years, and it's been a little bit staggered, and so for quite a while now 2 of the members have been discharged from their military service, Jin and J-Hope, and they have been releasing music, doing entertainment shows. J-Hope went on tour, releasing an album. They've been very busy representatives of BTS, while the other 5 have still been in the military. But this month, all of them get out. So June 2025 is a month that ARMY have been waiting for, and here it is. So last Monday, RM and V were discharged, and honestly, we were just, you know, glued to the screen, watching for their little press interview when they got out, and then watching for any live streaming they did afterwards, which you just don't know what these guys are. Are they just going to need to hunker down and just go home, or are they going to start activity? I know when Jin was released, he began straight away. He was right back into work. He couldn't wait to get back into it. And they're all saying that. They just can't wait to be out of the military to get back to doing what they do, which is music. Okay, so that was Monday. I hope I've got the days right, doesn't matter. Then the next day, Tuesday, Jimin and Jungkook were discharged from the military. So then it was the same thing the next day, watching their press interviews and then watching any footage that came from that, any live streams that came from that, and then edits that ARMY made of all, it was just obsessive screen time, watching and celebrating with other ARMY about BTS returning. There's one more member, Min Yoongi, that has to come back, and I think he's 8 days away, and then all 7 of these men will have been discharged from the military and they can start group activities as BTS again, which we're all waiting for. Now, what does this have to do with cross stitch? Well, between BTS and other K-pop offerings that have been coming this month and last, I was just thinking, I'm so passionate about this and I love this so much. I want to combine the 2 things. I want to do a K-pop cross stitch. What shall I do? Should it be BTS related? No, I'm a multi-fan, so I want to do more than just BTS. What's out there? So I started looking for K-pop related patterns, and it was while I was doing that I quickly remembered, hang on a second, I've already got something I want to do that is about this. I just kind of forgot about it in the moment. So I started kitting up to do the pattern called Earbuds by Ink Circles, which is the one that I told you that at Christmas time I asked my family to pick patterns and gift me the idea of these patterns that they would like. And Matthew gifted me this pattern that he liked, and I said, yep, I'm stitching that, and bought it straight away and kitted it up. And Julie gifted me the idea of Earbuds by Ink Circles. And so it was time to buy that and kit it up, which we're almost there. So I'll put the pattern here, and as you can see, what it involves is little album covers that we will cross stitch 10 by 10. Now Julie and I went through and selected many album covers that we would like to convert, Kpop album covers that she is going to convert into a little 10 by 10 cross stitch. I went and bought the pattern, the fabric for it all. So this is actually fascinating to look at, white fabric. It is Zweigart Newcastle linen 40 count in white. And so this is what's going to be used for the little 10 by 10 albums, because they're only little, because they then sit around the edge of the cross stitch and get placed into the little iPod that is on there. So this is going to be for the albums. And then the other fabric that we've decided to stitch the iPod on is this, a Zweigart Even Weave Murano 32 count in lavender. And we were very particular in picking purple because purple is the colour of BTS. And while this isn't going to be specifically BTS, for me, BTS was my gateway into K-pop. And so purple is a very relevant colour to me for K-pop. There are other colours that we'll be including that are the colours of other K-pop groups. But all of that will come about as we finish designing the albums and finish selecting colours that we want to do this whole thing in. I'm going to change potentially all the colours. I don't know, perhaps the cord is still going to all be in white, I think, but I'm not sure. But the rest I've still got to work out. But so at least I've got the fabric. Julie and I will work over the coming week or two about the albums and the colours that we're going to use. And I am going to have a new start, people. Which is very exciting. Zentangle is the other thing that I've been doing since we last spoke. I haven't done very much of it. However, I have got a good bit of progress on it. Even though I haven't done enough, in my brain I could have done a bit more, but I've got a good go on it. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it and actually show you. So this is where I was up to last time with it, and this time I did some more tangling and some more shading, and it's really coming along. The good thing about Zentangle is they're multi-directional. There's no right way up or wrong way. I could show it to you like that. I could show it to you like that. It shouldn't matter. And that matters when we're talking about shading as well, because I don't have to shade as if it's a directional light source coming, like I can just shade randomly how I like. Anyway, here it is, still in progress. So I've managed to do the shading of all of this central part. It still needs some better shading. These bits are a bit blobby. I've got to do some better work on these bits. And I decided that I wanted it to have another frame. So I actually chose this tangle and have started the framing of that. And that has brought about a whole lot of more decisions as to like, ooh, how much of that am I going to fill? I don't know where it's going to go from here. But I like how it's coming along. I like it. Now, you know, I think I only did about 2 or 3 hours work on this this month. So it's because I stitch so much, obviously. That's, you know, that's what we love. Years ago, all of the hours, you know, the 2 or 3 hours a day I'm doing, it's probably only 2 to 3 hours a day I'm doing on cross stitch, I would have been doing on Zentangle. So this would have gotten a lot further along, whereas this only got about 2 or 3 hours in a month. That's okay. it's still coming along. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's everything I wanted to show you and talk about. It's my little show and tell for this month. I know a lot of YouTubers talk about how often they upload an episode. You know, some people are weekly, some people are monthly. Mine appear to be about monthly, but honestly, I don't follow a schedule. I like to just post when I want to post, when I've got something to talk about. So that could be sooner, it could be later. And that's what, you know, since I picked up this and got that fabric, I was like, new episode, I want to talk about this. And same with last time when I was so stressed about, Charlie, so stressed about Smudge, you know, and wanted to talk to my cross-stitch community about how cross-stitch is helping me with that. That's when I wanted to film. So I don't know when I'll be back next. Oh, the other thing is, in a couple of weeks, I'm actually traveling back to Toowoomba to see my mum and dad. And this time I'm going with my older sister, Vicky. And so I think that's in about 10 days now, I think. And I don't know how long we're going to be there for. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. I'm not really sure. We've left it open. So I don't know how that's going to impact my filming my Flosstube. I can still do it there. Will I wait till I come back here? I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to that trip again. And it'll be different again, having my sister along. Last time I was with mum and dad by myself. This time Vicky will be with me. Oh, it's going to be good. It'll be a whole different trip this time. Oh, there are a couple of shout outs I wanted to do. The first shout out is very relevant to my butterflies because as I've been doing my full coverage and just, you know, this is my first full coverage, so it's an exploration into, do I like doing this? Is this, you know, what do I think of doing full coverage? Do I want to do it all the time? No, not that I have to make any decisions about it, but I'm just observing as I go through. And one of the Flosstubers, this person's Flosstube I never miss. She posts, I think, every Sunday or Monday, and the second it's up, I'm onto it. And it is Anne from Max Colour. She is the Max Colour Stitcher. It is a Flosstube. She's in Brisbane, Queensland, I think. And she is a Max Colour full coverage stitcher. Her projects are beautiful and big, and she has a rotation through them that she explains. She's very methodical and meticulous in her stitching, but honestly, Dragon Racing in the Night, I think it's called, go just to look at that. It is incredible. I mean, they're so big, she has to stand right back and unscroll her scroll rods to show the progress of these cross stitches that she's been working on for years, and they are beautiful. And she's just, it's fascinating watching her process, and that helps me when I'm thinking about what my one little one. This one's only 111,000 stitches, which is very small compared to some of the full coverage out there. So she's just really encouraging to me as to like, what's possible, another way you can approach it. Don't be scared of the big ones. Don't even be scared of Max Colour. You know, like she says, she just loves the way that Max Colour works with the gradual shading throughout pieces. And she's like, it's all stitching and I want a beautiful thing at the end and I love doing it. Oh, anyway, highly recommend going and looking at Anne. Her projects are just beautiful. And quite at the other end, actually, of the spectrum of cross-stitching in a way, is another Flosstuber who I feel like you've known about for years. I feel like I'm really late to the party on this one. I feel like everybody has been watching Karen, the stitching owl in London, Ontario, Canada, for years. And I've only just found her, and thank you, Karen. I found her through her making a comment on my video. And I went to look and I went, oh, she's a Flosstuber. Oh, she's got years worth of content. I went back to her first video just to get an introduction, just to find out, you know, where she lives, what she does, just the basic introduction stuff. And I planned to then just skip forward to more recent ones and sort of catch up. I have now been binging her entire 2.5-year catalogue of Flosstubes because they are so good. I did not want to miss one. But when I say she's at the other end of the cross-stitch spectrum, particularly at the beginning of my watching, all of her cross-stitching, the majority of her cross-stitching is small ornaments. So she's showing many fully finishes, and the way she finishes them, from stand-ups to hanging ornaments to lollipop ornaments and they are all exquisite little pieces of creation. And so that's like, I wanted to see them all, so I was like, I'm just going to look at the next episode and see. But then of course you start getting that life progression through Flosstube episodes, and Karen is quite the accomplished master musician, pianist. And you know, all of her first episodes she would just talk about the fact that she has a teaching studio at home, but that she's soon retiring. But after, I can't remember how many episodes, 10, 12, I can't remember, she played for us, and she starts then adding a moment of music to her episodes. And so, cross-stitching and piano playing. I play as well at a very low level. I'm like relearning as an adult after learning as a child. I love piano, and I love classical music, piano music. And so every episode, so then I didn't want to miss an episode from that. And then watching her life process as she then got to retire from this career that she's loved, but how it gave her more stitching time, more creative time, and watching her, and then she started a BAP, as she called it, a big art project. And it was quite different to mine actually, but hers was a stained glass owl. And watching that progress was absolutely beautiful. That was very inspiring as well, while I'm doing mine. So look, I'm not up to date with Karen. I think I'm still at October 2024, and currently it's June 2025. And I am honestly loving every episode. That is rich with content. So those are the two Flosstubers I wanted to mention. One because I watch it every week, the other because I'm watching all the time to catch up. And there are of course still many others, but I really wanted to touch on those two today. Okay, that's enough for today. Yet again, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your lovely comments. Go give all your pets a little nuzzle. Tell them they are loved by the cross-stitch community, Flosstube community as well. And now go enjoy your stitching. I'm going to enjoy mine. Stay well until I see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.